Oh, there we go. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to go through a bunch of stuff in this video. As you may notice, I'm posting quite a lot of videos right now. There's going to be tons more, just so you know. There's going to be tons of content, and I'm going through everything one step at a time because there's a lot of content to go through. I may actually stream at midnight tonight to go through a bunch of stuff again, but you're going to have videos every hour or so now. So when you see this video, it's going to be another one an hour from like when this one's posted, and so on and so forth. It's going to be lots of content. So, to put it bluntly, lots of shit coming your way, a lot of content, a lot of stuff, and I want to go through a bunch of stuff you guys have sent me right now to take a look at here on Twitter. So shout out to Andre here for sending this my way. Just a little bit of a theory that's kind of unique to the legendaries that were revealed, which is Zacian and Zamazenta, which are the legendary wolf Pokemon, which you may have seen in the, of course, now, you know, revealed trailer and direct of Pokemon Sword and Shield that came out today, dude, which, by the way, please go check out that trailer, dudes, because it was bloody fantastic. It was actually freaking awesome. So much amazing stuff shown. Today's stream was, I think, crazy is an understatement, but there was a lot of things happening, a lot of craziness, so do check all that stuff out, lads. Either way, let's get into the actual stuff here. So, now he's suggesting something here that I think I agree with, which is that if you look at the name of Zacian as well as Zamazenta, the two names seem, if you remove the za at the start, right, of both of them, it seems like you get the words cyan and magenta, right? Magenta, Zacian, cyan. You know, cyan with the Y, which is the color, right? So if you see down here at the color coding here, you can see that cyan is the top right there. You can see magenta is in the bottom right, and then yellow is on the left side there. And what's interesting is that these are the colors that kind of like they merge into each other to create new colors, which is kind of interesting. So I'm thinking that the third legendary, according to what Andre's saying here, and according to my theory, there's going to be a dragon, or who knows, maybe even a third wolf. Honestly, it could even be a third wolf. That could actually be a possibility at this point. Also, tons of people are sending me a bunch of stuff. Tons of stuff coming through my way right now. Zeke is sending me stuff. Gigasaur is sending me stuff. Shout out to all these people. I'm going to go through everything, you know, throughout these videos. So, there's a potential here that the next one could be, like, something in between there. And also, there's this theory that the legendary wolves will be based specifically around, like, I guess you could say, I'm not sure what word is, like, you know, fire and ice kind of. Like, not like Game of Thrones-esque fire and ice, but like fire and ice in the sense that it just seems to make sense. And that comes from this one right here. So this was sent to me by another viewer who basically said, like, look at the Pokemon when they power up. Look at the legendaries when they power up. Because when they power up, they seemingly gain some new sorts of colors to them, coloration, and their armor and their sword here grow bigger. So here's, like, how the sword looks like in Zacian, sorry, Zacian. If you look at Zacian's sword here, it's small. It's pretty, like, you know, normal. It makes sense, like, the size of it and all that stuff. It's pretty straightforward, right? But if you look at it here when it's powered up, it's way larger, dude. And I'm wondering if that's going to be an ability or what the deal is with that. You can also see here that it looks like a fin. So this one definitely feels to me like we can confirm this might be actually a water steel type. That Zacian's going to be a water steel type. Because look at the power up. Like, this literally, the sword looks like it's got a fin at the bottom. Like, you know, of a fish, which would make sense. And also, it's got the crown, and it just looks like fantastic. So this could be what it powers up to. While on the other side here, Zamazenta looks more like it's firing up like a fire-type Pokemon, right? It's like getting all red, and like you can see kind of like, you know, almost like lava coming through there, which makes sense that this one would end up being a fire typing, as it's like either main typing or secondary typing. So steel typing might be their secondary type, or maybe it might be their main typing, but I think steel typing is guaranteed for all these, for both these two, because it just makes sense what they look like and all that stuff. It just makes a lot of sense. So definitely worthwhile to, you know, consider, I will say. So that's about that for that one. But what else do we have here, lads? Well, basically, next thing here. This was suggested to me by William, who said that the giant Pokemon drawing on the side of the hill is the story of the first Dynamaxed Pokemon in the wild area, which is, it becomes enraged with power and starts destroying the land, which is very true that is what it's probably going to be about, because you guys remember from the first Pokemon trailer for Sword and Shield, we actually got to see, like, just from, like, the hills and stuff, we got to see hill drawings, and these hill drawings, like, picture this giant, like, creature, right? And below that was smaller creatures, and people did say, like, maybe that's a, you know, that's based on, you know, a giant, like a real life giant, like, thing from like the UK, right? And hill drawing there. And now it's potentially that's what it is. No, not potentially. That is what it is. It's meant to be like one of the first giant Pokemon that existed, and how it like ravaged the land and destroyed like the countryside and stuff, I guess. And that's like hill drawings kind of there as a memento of like what happened, and kind of like a memory of, you know, how that went by when it happened the first time around. And now it's like, you know, it's no longer a really issue, I guess. So kind of interesting, I will say, kind of interesting indeed. But that's one of the things we had to go through. Next thing here is sent to me by Marco Fumajali, and I actually knew about this. I actually said this to people a long time ago in a theory video, where he said here, Legendaries was teased in black and white, and you can see right here in black and white, you had on the left side here, a statue that shows a Pokemon wielding a sword, and on the other side you have a Pokemon wielding a shield. And I actually talked about this and mentioned this, and you can even see in this area, because this is like the Pokemon, I'm not sure if this is the Pokemon League or what it is, like World Tournament or something like that. I think it's a World Tournament. And what you see is on the back there's also banners. There's like a magenta, reddish banner and a blue banner, which also coincide with these two on each of their sides, which again seems to confirm the theory, boys. So that is actually really awesome. It seems to confirm the situation, I've got to say, and it makes me quite excited. So that is another thing to add on top of the theories here, the speculation, possibilities, all that stuff. Next thing though, it's just from Glamorous Galade saying, Rival is a bit of a douche, but nice sometimes. But I feel like you can decide your own journey, like joining the bad side or the good side, which is interesting because I do agree. I didn't think about it early on, but if you see Leon here, and I'm going to bring up how he looks like, of course, for those who haven't seen, Leon is the current champion of the Galar region, has never been defeated in an official Pokemon battle. His personality, together with his peerless skill, has made him extremely popular. He truly deserves the title of the greatest trainer in all of Galar, and people are saying, like, they're getting a little bit of an evil vibe from him, and he also has, like, number 1 on his, like, you know, pants there. It says 1, I guess, to kind of represent that he's the number 1 trainer in the Galar region, but people are saying they're getting a bit of an evil vibe from him, which I agree, I kind of do as well, honestly. I am getting a little bit of that vibe as well, honestly, like, I'm kind of feeling it as well. And next thing here is from Sakwalin, and as well as White Wizard, who, the first one here says that Leon is giving me major villain vibes, it would be cool if he's the king and he's planning something bad for Galar, which I agree, that would be really sick of a twist for them to do. Or planning on going on a war with Kalos because historical reasons and such. Would be great to make a connection between the two regions throughout through something like this. Maybe even forcing us to travel to Kalos or something. I would agree. I wouldn't mind that. I actually think that'd be pretty cool if they did something like that. But honestly, the likeliness right now, it's a little bit of 50-50. But we'll just have to wait and see, boys. We just have to wait and see. Now, that's one of the things. Next thing, again, you know, giving major villain vibes, etc. And Foul Play, same thing here, major villain vibes. Now, the next thing, though, is the most unique one out of them all, okay? And that's this one. Iris from Black and White looks very similar to Leon and Hop. And Leon, of course, the champion, Hop, your rival, from Sword and Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. Could hint to some sort of connection between Galar and Unova, which I have said this before, guys. I have said this before in theory videos, that Galar and like freaking Unova are connected, okay? You can see it right here. You can see right here, clearly a connection. And right here, same thing. They could be related. Literally, they have the same kind of skin color, they have the same hair color, straight up, the kind of purple hair, straight up the same color, and they use seemingly dragon types. You know, I mean, we know that we know the champion uses a dragon, at least, Charizard, and it seemingly feels like he's going to be using some sort of dragon type, like a mix of dragon type Pokemon, seemingly. And then, of course, we have his brother, we don't know much about, but then, of course, we have Iris over here, who literally is like the dragon type main freaking person when it comes to that sort of stuff, and they really look super alike, man. Like, they're like, just generally speaking, they look so alike, and it's so possible that he could end up being evil and they could end up being related. Honestly, it's a huge possibility. I would like to go into this theory a little bit more further on, but right now I'm not sure if I want to go into it 100%. So yeah, people are saying here is deep lore, so deep lore. Pokemon Direct spoilers. Okay, so we're going to talk about this, and you got Leon right there, you got Hop, and you got Iris, man, and they seemingly feel like they could be related. I mean, honestly, I mean, first of all, the eye colors are very similar. The skin color is exactly the same, essentially, and the hair color is identical. So the hair color is identical. The shit just feels so good, man. This gets me so excited, dude, because the possibilities here are freaking endless. So yeah, a lot of stuff, guys. Potentially, we could have a Pokemon here that's going to be a yellow one. We already have, like, a, cyan and a magenta one now. And we're going to have maybe a yellow one, maybe a dragon, potentially, based on the theory that I did earlier today, which you may have seen. We also have, the fact here that we could have a water-fire typing here, which people are saying, like, oh, that doesn't make any sense, because why would they make one Pokemon have 4 times weakness to the other one? Well, do remember that the Pokemon Company and Game Freak don't really make these things balanced. They've always kind of given one Pokemon sometimes a little bit of an edge to another one, and it's just kind of stupid, but that's just what happens sometimes. They don't always balance it, so that's a possibility. Also, they could make the other one be a ice type as well. That's a possibility. You never know. It could go any other way, but it does make sense for this one to be water and this one to be fire. Honestly, it makes sense for them. Of course, The hill drawings seem to also kind of pan out well, make sense, all that stuff, you get what I mean, that makes sense. This clearly seems to be a connection, which I talked about this a long time ago, the theory about it. Leon does have a bit of an evil villain vibe to him, which potentially could be what he's, you know, his deal, and also seems to have a connection to Iris, so Dragon Pokemon will definitely be part of his arsenal, as far as I can tell. So I'm intrigued, man. I am genuinely intrigued to see what's going to happen, boys. So let me know in the comment section down below, lads. What are your thoughts, what are your opinions, and yeah, I am going to... end of this video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you on the next video. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.